We saw examples for ngStyle and ngIf. Now, something related to ngStyle is ngClass. Now we learned that ngStyle allows us to dynamically assign a style. Now I will also add ngClass here. And where ngStyle allowed us to change the CSS style itself, ngClass allows us to dynamically add or remove CSS classes. So let's create such a class. And for this, I will first of all add my styles here. And I will use backticks to write this over multiple lines. And I will give this a class name of online, in which case I want to color the text white. So that's all I want to do, because I think it's kind of hard to read the black text on the green background. So back here, ngClass also, this is the directive, also only works as intended when using property binding. So let's wrap it in squared brackets too. And here we also need to pass a JavaScript object. And that's just the case for this property of this directive here, of course. Each property you bind to may take a different value, like disabled, which took true or false. So here it's a JavaScript object. And for ngClass, this object works like this. We also have key value pairs. The keys are the CSS class names, and the values are the conditions determining whether this class should be attached or not. So here we have the online class. You could also wrap this in single quotation marks if you had a class name with a dash inside of it or something like this. And here, well, I want to attach this only if the server is online. So only if server status equals online. Online here is a string between single quotation marks. Now, of course, you could also outsource this in a method you call this server status equals online check, but here I will write it inline. So if this is online, we should attach the CSS class online to this paragraph, otherwise it should not get attached. Let's view this in the running application. Both are offline, so none of the two should have the online CSS class added to it, and indeed, I can't find the class on any of the two. Now let's reload and hope that some of them is offline, or online, excuse me. Both are, so let's check it. Now we see the online class has been added, actually, to both of them, because this is how ngClass works. It only adds a CSS class if a certain condition is true. And that's an example for another built-in directive, another built-in attribute directive.